Hey you guys, it's Reese again. Today we are going to be reading 5 more chapters of The Wild Robot Escapes. So, Chapter 35, The Memories. Roz still dreamed of escaping, going home, of reuniting with her son, but her dreams were starting to feel impossible. She was losing hope. Was it time for the robot to accept her new life and forget her old one? Forget. Roz was troubled by that word. You see, her computer brain remembered every detail of her life on the island, and it hurt to think she may never make it back there. However, the robot could always forget. She could erase her old memories. It would be like they never happened. The heaviness she now felt would vanish. But without her memories, who would she be? No, Roz wanted to remember her old life, which was good, because someone from her old life was about to appear. Chapter 36, The Unusual Flock. Another flock of geese was approaching the farm, but this one was unusual. It wasn't flying south like the others. It was flying north in a perfect V formation, and it was led by a young, graceful goose. The flock flew once around the farm buildings and then delicately touched down in the barnyard. The leader whispered some words to the others, and then he fluttered in through the barn door. The cows looked up from their stalls as the goose perched himself on a railing near the middle of the barn. Then the goose cleared his throat, shook his tail feathers, and announced to the herd, "I'm looking for a robot named Roz. My name is Bright Bill. I am her son." Chapter 37, The Reunion. Something was wrong with the cows. Their excited moos echoed out from the barn and across the farm. Roz sent the milk truck away for its evening deliveries and hurried off to see what the ruckus was about. When she stepped into the barn and found the entire herd crowded together, and as the robot started pushing her way through, the cows turned to her and smiled. Then Roz saw him, her beloved son, Bright Bill. As you know, reader, robots don't feel emotions, not the way animals do. But in that moment, in that barn, nobody had any doubt about how Roz felt. She rushed forward and scooped her son to her arms. "Bright Bill," she cried, "is it really you?" "It's really me." Bright Bill nuzzled his mother's face. "But how did you find me?" said Roz. "Ma, you're famous. You were all anyone would talk about at the wintering grounds. It started with the flocks of geese that stopped here on their migrations. They shared your story with everyone they met. Your story spread from flock to flock, from north to south, from east to west. Eventually, your story made its way to me. I took off as soon as I heard where you were. I didn't even tell the others. But we caught up to him." Loudwing, the old goose, fluttered over the herd and gently landed on a cow's back. Bright Bill wasn't the only one who wanted to see you, Roz. The rest of the flock appeared, and the robot found herself surrounded by old friends and family. Squawking and mooing and laughing and cheering filled the barn. But then came a loud, clear voice that only the robot understood. "Roz, what are you doing?" The animals hushed. Roz slowly turned around, and there was Jaya and Jed standing at the doorway. The children had seen everything. Chapter 38, The Truth. Children can be very sneaky, and when Jaya and Jad heard the ruckus coming from the barn, they silently sneaked over to investigate. Now they were staring at a very strange scene indeed. Roz was standing in the middle of the barn, surrounded by the entire herd of cows. For some reason, a flock of geese was there as well, and one of the geese was being cradled in the robot's arms. But what confused the children the most was the wild animal noises Roz had just been making. The thing is, children aren't just sneaky, they're also smart, and it didn't take long for Jaya and Jad to make sense of that strange scene. "Those stories Roz told us about the robot on the island," said Jad to his sister, "they were about her." "The goose in Roz's arms," said Jaya to her brother, "that must be her son." All of Roz's stories came flooding back to the children. The robot, the island, the wild animals, the adventures. Those stories seemed so fanciful. Could they really be true? "You are correct, children. Those robot stories are about me," admitted Roz. With a hint of sadness in her voice, there were so many times that I wanted to tell you the truth about my past, but I was afraid the truth would frighten you. The robot motioned to the goose in her arms. "This is my son. His name is Bright Bill." Reader, there's another important quality that children possess. In addition to being sneaky and smart, they're also compassionate. Children care about others and about the world, and as Jaya and Jad gazed at Roz and Bright Bill, their little hearts were full of compassion. "Please do not tell your father about me," said Roz. "To him, I am just a machine. If he learns the truth, he will send me back to the robot factory, where I'll be destroyed. But you must do what you feel is right. My life is now in your hands." The children looked at each other and smiled. "Don't worry, Roz," said Jaya. "Your secret is safe with us," said Jad. That's all for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.